So we're getting back to winter time, and one of our backhoes we plow with. Um, so the backhoe actually comes with only work lights on it. It doesn't have any headlights. So you don't get a lot of projection. You really can't see too far away. It pretty much just lights up the work area. So I mean, it's good if you're like right next to the machine, but when you're driving, you want to kind of see where you're going for a distance, so you can kind of aim where your plow's going. And it just, obviously everybody wants to see farther at night and such. Plus with the work lights, they're above the cab, so it shines on the snow, it lights it up, and it definitely brings your vision closer. Like it's just because everything's so bright around you, you focus on everything right in front of you, and it's harder to see long distance. So what I want to do, or what I was requested to do, was get some better lights on there. So these are projection lights, obviously. They're not work lights, so they go a little bit farther. Like these ones, these are work lights. We use these as like reverse lights on the backs, so you can see that when you're backing up it. Because these little things, if you're to back up with just that, you can't really see much, especially if you have to go a long distance. So you put these extra work lights on there. I mean, these ones are kind of an earlier style. These ones are after these, and I like these better. They're a little cheaper generally, and they last quite a bit, and they're pretty bright. So anyway, so back to what we're doing. So what I want to do is mount these on there. I initially was thinking of doing a light bar across the hood and using magnets to hold it down, but the hood and everything up there is fiberglass, so I can't really stick a light bar on there with a magnet. I would have to permanently mount it, and I don't necessarily want to permanently mount anything right to the hood like that. So there's two grab handles that are on the sides, and they wrap the roll bar, and they kind of come out and go up and then tuck back in. So what I want to do is I want to make a bracket that will clamp around that bar, and I'll probably put it up higher. It's going to be like right in the middle of the window line, so we'll see how it goes. But essentially I should be able to move this bracket anywhere on that grab bar, and I would just have to flip the hole that I mount this on. So I'm going to drill a hole here, I'm going to tap it for 2 bolts, and then I'm going to split it, and I'm going to drill another hole in the top and tap that for this bolt. And if it works out up top, good. If I have to slide it down the grab rail a little bit because of vision issues, then I'll just have to drill another hole and tap the face here instead of the top, and have it clamped around where the bar goes, where the bar comes up and tucks back in. Obviously I'll have to go on the side, so I'd have to flip this. So I just have to drill another hole in there on the face here and tap that, which it shouldn't really be a big issue. So what I'm going to start off doing is, this is about as wide as I want it. I got it set up so I can use the annular cutter there, and we'll use like a bolt there, a bolt there, and then I have this so I can get the full bracket on there. So that's pretty much how it's going to be set up. I'm going to bring these bolts in on the bottom, so I don't have to worry about this clearing. It's just for lining up purposes. These are 1.5-inch bolts, so I'm going to cut this 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to cut 2 1.5-inch strips out, and then I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to drill that. I might have to use a longer piece just because the mag drill for this might not sit on this, and I might have an issue with that. So I might have to use this piece. It's the same stuff, it's just a different section. I think it was cut off. But anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure out if I can get the mag drill on this or not, and then I'm gonna probably drill these holes first and then cut them out, and then drill the side ones and then tap that. So let's proceed. All right, so I had to get the bigger piece because, like, you can see that probably it might have barely fit on that for one of the holes, but it wouldn't have got the second one. So, well, I would have rather have cut it out of that and, you know, got rid of that little piece. I'm a little limited in what I can do. So I put some paint down so I can scribe it a little bit easier without having to really try to cut into it too hard with this. So this is 1.5 inches. This is set over 1.05 inches this way, and it is 3/4, or from this end to here. I just kind of centered it. This is for the bigger hole to clamp on. So when I measured it, it was like 880 thousandths, and this bit comes out to, I think it was like 870 or something like that. So it was, I think it was 10 thousandths under. So 7/8 comes to you won't be able to see that, but 7/8 comes to 0.8750, and I believe it was 0.885 or 0.88 something. So this is just a little bit undersized, which is exactly what I want. So it'll clamp. I guess if you had to go the next size over, it would still clamp when you cut the middle out, because you'll be cutting a section out, but it won't be tight around it. It will be it'll squeeze in the middle, but it'll be kind of loose on the sides. But I mean, this isn't really a structural thing, so it's not a big deal. So that's how I got my dot there. So 1.05 over, and then 3/4 down puts me in the middle of an 1.5-inch block. And then this is kind of where my bolts are going to be. To find this, I mean, it wasn't anything precision. I just kind of stuck this there where I wanted the bolts to be, roughly. And I measured it here, then I measured it there, subtracted this from that, divided it by 2, and then added this to it to get me the spacing right in the middle of where the 2 bolts are going to be. Like I say, it's not a very precision thing. It's just kind of eyeballing where I want to put them. So, yep. So I'm going to set this up in the mag drill, and I'm going to drill that hole out. saw kind of like twists the blade to make it straight, so it causes it to want to drift back, and it doesn't want to cut a straight line, so that's why I'm kind of behind it with the chisel, just to kind of push the blade over to get it to go straight. So I did on this one a lot earlier, and this one started drifting off. So you can see how it's not exactly straight, but I guess it is what it is, so I ain't gonna worry about it. I can't get the little guides closer just because they're already extended as far in as they go, and that's about all you get. So let's punch some holes. So, let's see, I'm 630 thousandths over, so let's go 315. Not too far. $15. There's that. How thick are we? Yeah, 3/4, so about 750. So half of 750 is what, 375, I think. Okay, so where are we over here? Oh yeah, 315. So what was that? 15 plus 315. Maybe 18. Let's just say 1865. I know it's not 1865, but I'm just give myself a little bit extra. So the same there. Half of 750 was, what was it? 7, so 350, 375. So we got all our marks. That's where I'm going to drill my holes for the pinch bolts. So I don't have to worry about being specific, or not specific, but precise, because I don't think the hole is going to go exactly where I'm trying to put it. Take that above this table. Something like that. Yeah, it should be about right. Alright, so I'm gonna put 5/16 bolts in this. I don't have the exact drill for it, so I'm gonna drill it with a 1/4 inch, and then I'm gonna tap it. It should work. I've done it before with that size. So I'll tap it all the way through. I'll drill it, tap it all the way through, and then I'll cut a little section off, a little square off there, and then I will drill the part above the cut a little bit bigger, so the bolt just slides right through that, and then we'll have our compression section. If you could slip this over the pipe, you would just have to cut here and just do 1 pinch bolt, but because I have to go around, I gotta remove this section. So like I say, we'll drill it, tap it, and then cut this in, and then notch it like a little square, so it's got a little I don't know, an opposing side there. So we'll do. So we got our 3 holes, and so I'll tap these. I'll drill out the other one first, obviously, and we'll record that, and then we'll tap these 3 holes, and then we'll cut out our piece, and we'll be able to mount it. So while I'm making these, I think I'm going to just drill and tap another hole while I'm right here, flat right through here. So basically I can mount this up on top with a bolt, put the thing up on top, or I can flip it down on the handrail and mount it like this. So while I'm here, I'm just going to drill and tap another hole flat here, so if I want to change it later, I don't have to do it later, because I mean, it should be pretty quick if I do it right now, and then when I paint it and everything, it'll be all right. So I'm gonna go drill that hole and tap that one too, and then I'll retap all these, and then we'll move on. So I got some centered marks here. Well, it's not centered, but the I put the square up against here right on the line, and I kind of put the paint mark, so the paint mark is on the side of a line. It's not centered, it's over, so I got to cut along the edge of the line. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be in two pieces. So I'm going to cut down here and cut that way. I'll probably do this long one first, and then I'll come in this way. That way, if this isn't straight, I can just come up to it. Pretty sure it's going to fit pretty good.
Alright, I'm heading out that way now.
Alright. So, it's, oh yeah, that worked pretty nice. If I do say so myself. Plenty of clamping room. You can see we got plenty of room there to clamp down on it. Maybe a little gap underneath, but that'll obviously close up. This pipe measured like 0.887. And I think when I was done it was 0.887 something, so it's got like a 10,000th interference or whatever you want to call it. So we can tighten that down. These shouldn't poke up through the top. And then I'll change this little bolt out for a what is it? I think this one's metric. So I'll change that out for a standard bolt, either that or that's the bolt I need. But so we can bolt that down on top, and we'll have our light. I think that'll look pretty good. I'll just paint it up, clean it up. I'll have a clamp there, and if I don't like it there, then I have this this other hole on the face that this can bolt into right there, and we can run it down the handle here anywhere we want. So the only thing that would concern me about this being right here is glare off of this exhaust pipe going back at the driver. So we'll see how that works. I mean, like I say, I can move it if I need to move it, but we'll start with it up here. That way it's kind of out of the way for when you're getting in. It doesn't obstruct the handle at all. And it'll just be right up top there like that. I think that looks pretty good if you ask me. I mean, you could probably, you know, cut a little corner off or something like that, however you want to do it, make it look dressier or whatever. But I think it'd be good enough. So I broke the tap. Actually, it broke pretty easily after I'd done all these here. This face one here broke, so I had to kind of grind it flat and then put a taper in there on the grinder so I can finish tapping this hole here. And it worked. It was a little tougher getting it in there because I didn't have as much of a taper as initially was, but like I said, I think that'll be pretty good. I don't know how I'm going to run the wiring inside though. I might go up. Maybe I'll go up and then in through the roof or something. I'm not sure. I'll have to look around and see how I can get it in there. And yeah, so we'll paint this up and see if we can get this mounted. So here we got the little light mounted. So I had to change that bolt out to a regular bolt. It was metric. And then got this clamp down. We still got a pretty good gap around there, so we can get it tighter if we need it, but it's holding pretty good. I don't think it'll be a problem. So next would be wiring the light up. I think I might just go up with it into the headliner there, and maybe run it down one of the sides or something. Gotta figure out how to get the wire in, and then yeah. So I got the other one painted, or it's drying, and I just got this one on for now. The other one will go over there, and then we'll have some more projection-y headlights. So kind of stay right out of the way. So I got a problem getting up and in, and you probably won't even really be able to see them because of where the rollover thing is. So you probably will, but I think it'll be all right. So yeah, so I get the other one mounted, and then figure out where I'm going to run the wire in and how I'm going to wire it up, and then probably aim them and we'll be done. Alright, so I got both of these lights mounted on the front there, and I got lucky. This window gap right here is like perfect, and this wire just sticks right in there. I got a little bit of bulge right there, wouldn't fit in, but it is what it is. I'll keep kind of working at it and tucking it in there. And so I came up here underneath, put a Deutsch connector, whatever it is, connector in there for this one, and then I ran it across the front, and I kind of tucked it up under the wire loom there for these lights to hold it up, and put a little wire holder thing there to hold it in the middle. So we come over to the other side. Did the same thing over here with this wire. This one went in a little bit easier. Same thing up there. Zip tied up, and I ran it both wires down this ROPS tube right here because there's a hole at the top. So I ran both wires down the tube, and then I cut it over from here over to the middle there, and I drilled a hole in the floor right there, put a grommet in, and you got this wire here that comes from the radio, and it runs underneath the mat here into where the fuse panel is. So I'm going to run these two wires in there, splice them into the fuse panel, probably put a switch somewhere, and then I'll have power up there to power these lights. The only thing that concerned me is I've had some LED lights put off a interference for radios, which that's why I didn't want to run it through the headliner and stuff, because the radio is right there. I'd run right by the radio, and when you turn them on, you usually get static and stuff with them. I haven't seen it so much on the CBs. I'm hoping I don't get it on this, I plugged one in to a battery pack and kind of put it next to the stuff, and I didn't hear anything. But I'm in a steel building, so I don't get a radio signal in here anyway, but I didn't notice a buzz or anything when I turned them on. So let me give it a try, but I think it'll turn out pretty well. So I got the other one mounted right there, and yeah, so I can't see too well, but that's kind of what it'll look like. All right, so it looks a little bit different because of the glare behind me on the windshield, but this is what we used to have, and trust me, it looks a little brighter on the camera than it is in real life. And here's our new lights, so quite a big difference. So you see how these work lights just kind of illuminated what was in front. You don't really get any projection, and it lights up like everything in front of you, so it kind of draws your vision in, and we get a little projection, so you can tell it's a little bit brighter. So came out pretty good. Shut them off. Shut this off. So, let me turn the lights on. So like I said, I ran these wires up under the cab, along underneath the floor there, and into the fuse panel. I don't be able to see very well. I ran them both in, and I spliced them together. I put the ground right here, and I put the switch up there. I had to drill a hole through the front, and then I found out that all this plastic paneling is like double lined, so there's 2 layers to it, so the switch wouldn't stick through. So I had to come back here. I outlined the switch. See the yellow, and then I used a razor knife and just cut it out so that would fit in. Like I say, I ran the ground here, and I just used an add-a-link or add-a-circuit fuse in the fuse box here, and then just came out on this wire and over to the switch. And that's that. I put it on the power port plug because I tried to isolate it because I didn't know if we were going to get some interference with these lights. I still haven't noticed any when I turn it on with the radio or anything, but like I said, I don't get a very strong signal in here to be able to tell anyway. At least at the moment. I'll have to drive it outside and find out. But anyway, it took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but we got it done in the end. So yeah, that's kind of what they look like and how they work. So I think they're going to be a pretty good modification. So thank you for watching, and hope that could help somebody or found it entertaining, and I hope you have a nice day.